There are four types of epithelial tissues: the simple squamous, the stratified squamous, the simple cuboidal, and the simple columnar. Epithelial cells have several different characteristics. For example, epithelial cells are arranged in a single or multi-layered sheet. One free surface of the layer is exposed to air or fluid. The other surface is attached to a basement membrane. The epithelial cells are also tightly packed together. Epithelial cells also have several different functions. For example, protection. Epithelial cells, such as skin, protects us from sunlight, physical damage, and bacteria. Number 2, absorption. Epithelial cells which line the small intestine aid in the absorbing of nutrients into blood. Number 3, the diffusion of carbon dioxide and oxygen through the alveolus. Epithelial cells can be classified via the shape of the cell on the free surface or the number of cell layer. The shape of the cell on the free surface can either be squamous, cuboidal, or columnar. The number of cell layer can either be simple or stratified. The simple squamous epithelial cell is a single layer of cells attached to a basement membrane. It is also thin and flattened with a central nucleus. The simple squamous can be found on the lining of the alveolus, the mouth cavity, the Bowman's capsule, and the Henle loop of the kidney. It can also be found on the lining of blood vessels and lymphatic vessels. The simple squamous allows the diffusion of nutrients and gases, acts as a barrier and regulates movement of substances across it, and protects underlying tissue. The simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. The simple cuboidal epithelial tissue is a cube shaped with a central nucleus. It is roughly squared. Each cell has a spherical nucleus in the center. It can be found on the glands, ducts, and tubules. For example, pancreatic ducts and kidney tubules. The simple cuboidal epithelial cells are specialized for excretion, secretion, and absorption. The simple columnar epithelial tissue. The simple columnar is a single layer of cells attached to the basement membrane. It is columnar shaped with the oval nucleus close to the basal end. It can be found on the lining of the stomach with goblet cells to secrete mucus. It is also found on the lining of the small intestines with microvilli to increase the surface area. Lastly, it is found on the lining of the uterus, oviducts, and nasal cavity with cilia to move the mucus. The stratified squamous epithelial cells. The stratified squamous has many layers, the bottom part being columnar and the top part being squamous. It is a germinative layer and divides mitotically to produce new cells or replace damaged or dead cells. It functions to protect against abrasion and mechanical damage. Creatine accumulates near the surface. It is waterproof and toughens the skin. Stratified squamous epithelial cells can be found on the outer skin, mouth, and throat.